Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the S.H.FIGUARTS Dragon Ball Z nail. And as you may have deduced, this is a release that I'm pretty excited about. Excited enough to get two, which I don't do too often these days because, you know, money and all. But it's a premium Bandai exclusive. It's another Namekian other than Piccolo, even though they're basically the same Namekian now, I guess. Other than their outfits before they were fused, but they did look exactly the same, and that's not a racist comment. But yeah, this one looks pretty good.
He's pretty good.
So yeah, let's take a look at the S.H.FIGUARTS Dragon Ball Z Gangster Namekian Nail. First things first, let's see how he stacks up against a couple of other releases from the Namek arc. We got Proud Namekian Piccolo on the left, and Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku with Ginyu head on the right, together with Arm Breaker form Frieza. He's the same height as Piccolo and shares, I would say, similar engineering to the other releases from the Namek Saga wave, sprinkled in with a few new improvements, notably in the ankles. Huge win there. And I think that might be the way to go. He's not entirely super new like what we got with the Games Begin Goku, but it's like they've made a few adjustments here and there to the version 2 body, and it works. I really do like it. It feels familiar in some areas, but still different enough with the upper torso, new ankles, and new head sculpts to feel surprisingly fresh. We get a couple of looks here for Nail thanks to the accessories he comes with, which we'll take a look at a little bit later in the video, but here are 2 of 3 of those looks. The impractically long vest he's got on is pretty much for display. You're not going to get too much out of it in terms of articulation. It just kind of goes over his shoulders and does the job for your more neutral poses. Solid, semi-soft plastic, no paint. You can also have Nail with just his little neck warmer thing, which again doesn't do too much for his neck articulation, but it does give you a bit of variety when it comes to your posing and displays. And once you take all that off, you're left with a shirtless red, pink, and green Piccolo upper half, wearing some Toji white pants and updated new Namekian boots. A winning combination. The sculpt work is great. You have all your Namekian lines running through his arms and lower half of the torso, Namekian 8-pack abs, and gaunt physique back muscles. Damn, Namekians are packing. The pants are a completely brand new sculpt as well. At first glance, they look the same as your proud Namekian Piccolo, but the folds and wrinkles are sculpted differently. You'd think they just recolor the same Piccolo pants, but they didn't. They went that extra mile, so good on ya, Tamashii.
Good on you, Mom.
And best of all, they've updated the old straight ball peg ankles to your newer, way more articulated ones we see with all your newer releases. There's not too much in terms of paintwork here, as you would expect. We get a little bit with a red, a bit with the pinks, and the fingernails, but I think it's okay here with Nail. The sculpt is interesting and sharp enough to compensate for the lack of paint, and it's got a nice matte finish. All in all, aesthetics are solid, 2 gold stars. What's the top rating? I don't know, but 2 gold stars is pretty high up there. Nail comes with 5 complete veiny head sculpts, much like our other favorite Namekian, Piccolo, and the great thing is you can use Nail's head sculpts on Piccolo and Piccolo's head sculpts on Nail. Yay! Accessory interchangeability for the win. We get a neutral stare of initial confrontational confidence. You're all essential, I might have to go all out with this purple midget teeth grit. A mouth wide open scream for more power, possibly in the form of another Namekian who looks exactly like you. An excruciatingly painful look of despair as you get your arm ripped off. Oh, and my favorite, a beat up, beat down, battered head sculpt with purple bruising. All in all, great aesthetics, great selection of head sculpts that capture all your iconic Nail ass whooping moments. Or getting his ass whipped moments. Alright, so for articulation, I have removed Nail's vest, and even though it is made from a soft rubbery plastic, it does limit a lot of the articulation in, the chest area, which is where all the new engineering comes from, and it does, limit a bit of the leg articulation as well. But yeah, and most of the time you're going to be using Nail, or you're going to be posing Nail without his vest anyway. I have left on his little neck warmer here. It is just a floating plastic piece, but because it does have quite a bit of clearance, he can't move his head without too much of it getting in the way. So first up, head articulation. Nail looks up this much, looks down quite a bit. Can't even see his face anymore in his little neck warmer. You get side to side tilt and the neck warmer goes with it. It's probably not a neck warmer. And you do have left and right rotation as well. And that is assisted from that great separate neck joint there. For shoulders, you get some pretty decent butterfly joints going forward, going back, but also going up. So he can go past 90 degrees and there's no problem there hitting a T-pose, which is great. You have 360 rotation there at the shoulder. Very nice. A bicep swivel. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows I mean, but he does have double jointed knees. And of course your swivel and hinge at the wrist. We've got some really good ab crunch going on here. It is, a double ball peg going up from the abs to the chest, and then again from the abs to the waist as well. So he does crunch forward quite a bit. Not much of a gap going back there. There is a bit of a gap here, actually quite a big gap going back, crunching back. But, the amount of range that you get with this torso, definitely worth it, I think. So, upper torso, very good movement. Lower torso, again, just as good. Swivels, tilts, anything you would want nail to do. The belt here is a plastic, hard plastic, separate piece. These are the, I guess you could call them the version 2 body legs, but he does get a lot more range kicking out than I think, Proud Namekian Piccolo. So that's fantastic. He does kick back and kick forward really well. You do have an upper thigh swivel, double elbows, double knees, and a swivel there at the ankles. The feet go down, look at that range, feet go up, fantastic, toe hinge, and yes, finally, we can get some pointy shoed Piccolo boots or Namek style boots with some really good ankle pivot. Can't be happier. Alright guys, just a side note, I know I said finally, but yes, Daima Piccolo did do it first, but you guys know what I mean. I wanted these shoes with this engineering on this guy. So other than Nail's vest and his neck warmers, we also get a bunch of hands, including a pair of Namekian fists for, you know it, smashing that like button. A couple of Namekian neck-chopping action flat palms. There's also a set of action in-battle fingers open fighting hands. And a couple of key blast hands for all your futile attempts at blasting Frieza. But the absolute MVP of accessories this year from any figure I've bought this year goes to the newly grown semi-translucent green hand sprouting out of Nail's right arm. This little thing reminds me of those really cool digital grade, high grade minifigures we used to get in capsules. It's not reinventing the wheel or anything. We've seen a ripped off arm stub with Proud Namekian Piccolo before, but still, this is one super cool accessory and perfectly recreates probably the most iconic moment in the fight between Frieza and Nail. So they had to include it. I've always wanted stretchy arms for Piccolo, but I think this is probably the next best thing. So I hope we see more of this with characters that can regenerate their own limbs. I'm looking at you, New Perfect Cell. Alright guys, so if you want to make your own shirtless battle damage Piccolo, it's more than possible. And Tamashii were nice enough to make the waist, wrist, and neck joints compatible. Yay! You can swap out the heads, the hands, switch torsos, give Nail a cape, pretty much kitbash your ideal version of each character. Do be careful with the torso though. Like I said, the waist joints are the same sizes, but I do recommend heating up the joints before you start pulling stuff apart. Proceed with caution, but have fun. So as much as I love the new Games Begin Goku, this one feels special in a different way. Nail is a character I've wanted for the longest time. He's always on my list when I do my New Year predictions videos, so to finally have a figure of him, a really good figure of him, makes me more than happy. And I honestly couldn't ask for more. It's just a really well executed figure that delivers on every aspect that defines a great release for me. I love all the little updates they've done to an otherwise familiar figure. I love the scene iconic accessories, and I absolutely love the intentional or unintentional compatibility with Piccolo and the play value it brings to the figures. And I absolutely love the intentional or unintentional compatibility with Piccolo and the play value it brings to the figure or figures. Tamashii absolutely nailed it with Nail, and I couldn't be happier to add another few and far between Namekian to the collection. That's it for this review guys, hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more, click one of the videos that should be showing up right now. If not, Figuarts Cyclops is up next, and I'll have a review up for that probably this weekend. But keep doing those push-ups. Yoroshiku.